Well, hello and welcome to my kitchen garden. Now, last week I had this horrible cold, which I'm still getting over, but it has meant I didn't do any gardening last week. Now, before that, I actually found this wooden greenhouse in Homebase, which I'm going to pop together today on the hope that it's just going to give me a bit more room inside with all my seed sowing. So while I get it together, why don't you find out what I've been up to over this last week? Well, today I've decided it's time to really prick out these chili plants. These are a variety called KN, which is quite a popular variety. I have to admit, I've actually left these a little bit too long. Should have done these last week, but as I had this nasty cold and things going on, I didn't quite get round to doing it. But never mind, there's quite a few here. I think I pretty much sowed the whole packet of seeds into this one tray just so I could then get them sown. And what we're going to do is just put these individually into these plugged plants for the time being so that they can continue to grow, and hopefully then that will give us a little bit of space. Space is something of a premium at the moment because we got so many seeds that we're sowing and not enough room to grow them on. Hey ho, hey ho. So today it's time to give my veggie pod, my medium veggie pod, a bit of attention. Been growing in this veggie pod for quite a few years now, and I usually grow my salad leaves and things like that in here. What I've noticed, obviously, the compost level has reduced down, and I think we need to top it back up again to get it ready to go. And what I've been sent here, I've had this sitting around, is this new compost called Black Gold from Growmore. It's an organic, all-purpose compost, but what really struck me is it's got urban worm added to it, and this is a additive worm castings added to this compost. From what I understand, it's meant to be a really positive looking compost that basically, in theory, should, we'll want to find out, be one that can be used for everything. And look at this compost. That is a beautiful friable compost that we can use as a multi-purpose compost. Also a seed sowing compost. I am absolutely impressed with that. That is beautiful looking compost. Yes, some of it is clumped together like that, but it breaks apart easy. If I can get hold of some more of this compost over the coming months from a local garden centre or somewhere, this could end up, we'll have to try on it of course, but this could end up becoming one of my favourite compost. It is annoying sometimes having to buy several different types of compost, seed compost, multi-purpose compost and so on, to have available. But that one bag, I mean, I am absolutely impressed with how uniform that compost is and the high quality of it all the way around. That is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Probably could do with another bag to top this up with as well. Very happy with that. Very, very happy. Now today it's some more pricking out that I'm doing. These are some onions that I actually sowed Boxing Day. Variety Reichenberger, something like that. This is going to be our main onions, but they've grown quite well actually. I've got to say, I'm quite pleased with how they are growing, but they definitely do need pricking out because there's lots and lots in this one little pot. And what I'm doing is I'm pricking them out into these cardboard planters. Now the idea being these cardboard planters are going to be biodegradable, so once I feel they are strong enough we can plant them straight in the ground. Onions themselves are fairly shallow rooted, so the depth of these should give them plenty of space for the onions themselves to develop decent roots. While at the same time, I mean, we've got some good roots on these, while at the same time just not taking up a huge amount of space while we get them to the stage that they can go out. We really do need to get these out into the greenhouse or somewhere fairly soon so that they free up more space indoors. Onions are, I won't describe these particular ones as being frost hardy, but they are cold tolerant, so the sooner we get these pricked out, the sooner we can get them used to being at slightly cooler temperatures of the greenhouse, and then possibly moving on from there before we finally get them out into their final positions, which would be great. Well, okay, the storm we had last week, we were quite lucky. We didn't get much in the way of damage. The biggest problem we had was this bit of wood just came apart. In hindsight, the screws might have been a little bit too short for that particular bed, so I'm just going to quickly screw it all back together and into place, and that should hopefully last for a good season, if not longer. Nice easy one today at least, but these things need to be done. Well, that didn't take long to build at all, and that now gives me somewhere I can start moving my seedlings out once the weather warms up a little bit for many of my seeds. But certainly my onions, my brassicas, I think will be okay in here for the time being. I've also managed to fit in my old potting table, so I've got a nice area here once again for working. This area, obviously, that's my shed that I built from scratch a few years ago. This area was my sort of balcony garden area, which we've decided to remove, but hey, I'm happy. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to be able to have somewhere nice and tidy to work, which I do think is quite an important aspect. Well, I think that's brought us up to the end of this week. Now, if you are like me struggling with somewhere to keep your seeds, you might want to go down to Homebase, because these at the moment I found in mine for £39, which I don't think is too bad. It's got decent doors, not the strongest of things, but for £39, what do you expect? 3 shelves on the inside. I'm pretty happy with it. Well guys, thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you again next time.